Communication mistakes. What kind of mistakes can you make when you're applying for bank financing? Over communicating and giving more than that's asked for could be a risk. And here's why. If you're asked very specifically a specific question, how much capital you need, and you can't answer that question, that could be concerning. That's communication failure. You need to know specifically what you need it for, why you're going to be using it, what is the use of proceeds. I have heard countless calls where a very simple question becomes this long explanation for how much capital you need and what you're using it for. That should be very succinct. So have that practice before you go on a call. Another communication challenge is not being able to explain the simplicity of your business. So being able to explain your business when asked just simple anti-fraud related questions like, what do you do? How are you paid? Tell me more about how you are your sales cycle. Tell me more about very general question inserted here. You should be able to answer the simple questions, and you should be able to answer them simply. So not getting nervous, being very calm when you're asked a simple question from a bank, lender, institution, during that underwriting call, when it happens, if it happens, it's important. It's very important. So other communication risks you need to be aware of are what you communicate on an application. Sometimes for an SBA loan, for example, you might have a main application and a 1919. Making sure that you're telling the same story twice, which that's why honesty is the best policy, is because it's the easiest truth to remember. You can tell that same story time and time again when it's the truth. When it's not the truth and you start to butcher the truth and start to massage the truth, it becomes challenging to remember the story that you gave. So being truthful and your application being truthful, very important. Again, debt schedules, that's a big one. So you're communicating, you have certain debts, but then we find later in the application or within the bank statements, you have other liabilities. Now, this is a communication failure. You're not directly saying it, but you've said it on a document that's going to be reviewed and analyzed for your risk profile and affordability. So ensuring that all of your applications are consistent. Your debt schedule, your liabilities on your balance sheet are consistent and consistent with what you're seeing pulling, what the bank sees pulling with your bank statements. That's very important. And again, asking and able to answer simple questions that are asked is critical, and not oversharing.
Learn the course for free at businesseligibility.com.